Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. In Judges chapter 8, verses 22 through 27, we read these words. Then the men of Israel said to Gideon, "Rule over us, both you and your son, and your grandson also, for you have delivered us from the hand of Midian." But Gideon said to them, "I will not rule over you, nor shall my son rule over you. The Lord shall rule over you." Then Gideon said to them, "I would like to make a request of you, that each of you would give me the earrings from his plunder." For they had golden earrings, because they were Ishmaelites. So they answered, "We will gladly give them." And they spread out a garment, and each man threw into it the earrings from his plunder. Now the weight of the gold earrings that he requested was 1,700 shekels of gold, besides the crescent ornaments, pendants, and purple robes which were on the kings of Midian, and besides the chains that were around their camels' necks. Then Gideon made it into an ephod, and set it up in his city, Ophrah. And all Israel played the harlot with it there. It became a snare to Gideon and to his house. In this passage, Israel is at war with the Midianites and the Amalekites. So God chooses a humble young man, Gideon, to deliver Israel by cleansing the land of idols. After submitting a fleece to determine it is God calling him, Gideon obeys the Lord and destroys the pagan idols in the region. Then he summons a large army, over 30,000 men, to fight the Midianites and Amalekites. God says the army is too large, so he first reduces Gideon's army to 10,000 men, and then to a mere 300 men. When God gives Israel the victory with an army of only 300 men, all of Israel knows it is the power of God, not the strength of his army. If the story had ended there, all would have been well. But at the moment of Israel's triumph, Gideon stumbles. He tells the people, "I do have one request, that each of you give me an earring from your share of the plunder." The Israelites take the gold from the bodies of their dead enemies, and Gideon melts it and fashions it into an idol. The Bible calls this idol an ephod, a word that refers to a ceremonial breastplate. Gideon probably depicts the Lord God as a warrior with an ephod of gold. But God does not allow himself to be represented by an idol. This idol is an offense against God and a trap for the people. After Gideon's death, the Israelites again worship the pagan god Baal. They forget the Lord God who rescues them from their enemies. The story of Gideon has a great beginning, but a tragic ending. This is an instructive lesson for us all. As the Apostle Paul tells us, "Therefore let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall." 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. If we fail the success test, we must go back to God without fear. We can ask him to help us learn the lessons of our failure and to strengthen us for another effort. The God of second chances is able to accomplish his purpose through us, even when we have failed him many times. This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
When with the Savior we enter the glory land, won't it be wonderful there? Ended the troubles and cares of the story land, won't it be wonderful there? Won't it be wonderful, wonderful there? Having no burdens to bear over there, joyously singing with heart bells all ringing, oh, won't it be wonderful there? Walking and talking with Christ the Supreme.